Well, hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, and that means it's the Dennis and Andy show. Dennis is back for the second week in a row from his South Korean adventure. He's got a bum ankle because he doesn't know how to walk, threw out his back yesterday. He's just falling apart.
It has been a really rough couple of weeks. But I'm home taking crap from Andy, so I mean, how does it not get better than that?
His sleep schedule is still whacked out, getting all up at 3:30, trying to go back to sleep. Then the next thing he knows, it's 5:30.
It's awful.
He's finally back to sleep, and his wife barges in and wakes him up.
But the good news is, no sleeves. So I am back to being sleeveless, which makes me happy as pie.
I saw quite a few vacation pictures from South Korea where your wife and daughter were sleeveless.
Yeah, they were. I'm telling you, hypocrisy. I wasn't allowed to bring sleeveless shirts because men don't do it. And what do? Oh, it's hot. They take off their sweater and they're in tank tops.
Why didn't you just go, oh, it's hot, and just jack them up?
Jack them up. Wow. You know, I suppose I could roll my cigarettes in it like in the 50s and roll them up.
I'm just saying.
I should have just ripped my sleeves off and went, whoosh, and then just went there. Now live with it.
I'm just saying that would have been pretty funny if you're like, oh, are you guys hot? Oh, look, you have no sleeves. Well, here. And then you just roll them right up and go, does this embarrass you? I hope it does.
Yep. My sleeves were not an embarrassment. My sleevelessness was for them.
There you go. What is up? Randy Howell's in the house. Marcus Kellegrove here. Past Master Dan. Joe Bernardo. JP Roca. Let's see. Apex Comics. Hello. Hope you are doing well on this Wednesday. Just to let you guys know, tomorrow night, we're going to go see Renfield. That's the name of it, right?
Yes, Renfield.
Nicolas Cage is Dracula.
And Mr. Holt as Renfield, his nice little assistant who eats bugs to get jacked up with power and serve his master. He is his familiar. So I think this movie has potential. The trailers have done justice, I hope. So crossing our fingers that Renfield is going to be good. Could be campy.
It could be.
Could be funny.
It is only an hour and a half long, so I'm fine with an hour and a half if it's a tight movie, tight story, and the editing was done right. So we'll see it, and we'll review it Friday. But I'm looking forward to it. The Red Band trailer looks great. Unhinged, hello. Chad is in the house. Hello, everybody. All right, Past Master Dan says, can't be funny. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking too. So I agree. Shorts, I think Dennis is a tunic guy.
I do have tunics. I do go to the Ren Fair. I have everything from full-blown tunics to kilts because, all depends on what the weather is as to which way I'm going to dress up.
It's the hijab that gets me. But, whatever. He wants to wear that. So he gets down and kneels to the east every morning.
Anybody wants to see this belly dancer, you're welcome to it.
Ew, gross.
Just saying. Hey,
congrats. Randy says congrats on the Kickstarter. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. Seriously, thank you guys for backing it. Randy, thank you for all the promotion you do on Twitter for us. You guys you are awesome for doing that. We really do appreciate it. Return of the King, the extended edition in theaters here one day, only for the anniversary.
Oh, no, I don't know. I have not gone in and checked that out. Andy was just telling me about Return of the Jedi coming back.
Yeah.
So I said, well, Disney needs to pad a few stats and get a little money, so they're re-releasing it. Lord of the Rings extended edition. That would be something I would go see. Or I can pop it in my 4K version at home and just watch it in comfort. But I do like the big theater, and the extended versions were quite good.
Yes. So you could do that. That I would sit out. I'm fine with not seeing that movie again. It's too long, and I got bored. So anyhow, without further ado, we're going to bring on our guest, writer and creator of Immortal Rising, Mr. Aaron. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
And hello to all the nerds out there.
That's right.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, you know it. I just realized I like showing this stuff at the. So I know I pulled that off the other day when I was doing something, our little names and stuff, but I want those there. So there you go. So you just launched this Immortal Rising, what? Just a few days ago, right?
Last Monday, yeah.
Wow. And this is your first one?
Yes, it is killing me.
Yeah.
I'm like, anything new? Anything new happen? Yeah,
Oh, you know what's funny? So I'm assuming you fall into the camp of, do you have it set up on the campaign to when somebody backs it, you get an email?
yes.
I don't. I can't. I just,
Yeah, I
you
should.
know, I didn't do it for the first campaign I ran. The second one I did. And, you know, it's a catch-22. As much as it's nice to see an email of, oh, you got a new backer.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'd rather not see it and just go check it once a day and, you know, look at it that way. So.
Yeah, I think so. The way I've decided to do it is to not pay attention to the emails, and I figure I'll just check it when I show it on streams, and then I'll know. I'm like, oh, cool, that's where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to do it. So it's like watching paint dry. I just can't. I can't do it. So
it's true. It's true.
Paint dry. You watch your grass grow. What's the difference?
Well,
yeah,
you know,
it is the same.
I do.
Well, see, like I amateur gardener or whatever, and so I'm used to having to wait forever for anything to happen. So I'm not climbing the walls quite yet, but yeah, I'm just like, please, something happen.
See, I'll be honestly, I'm the exact opposite. And we had a couple trees taken down last year, got the stumps ground, so I planted grass seed and stuff. I was watering it every day. And I'm the type where like daily, I'm like, where is it? When's it going to grow? You know,
just measuring it.
And well, it just drives me crazy because like my neighbor across the street had to totally redo. This is fascinating conversation, I know. Had to totally redo his whole lawn, right? And he did it himself from just dirt up. So he got a big thing of topsoil. I assume that's what he had delivered and dumped onto it in a big pile on his lawn. He was out there spreading it out and stuff. And then he started watering it. And I swear it's only been a couple weeks and he's got really good coverage of grass already. Nice. And I'm like, what the hell type of seed are these people using?
Yeah, for real.
I literally just the other day I went and laid my seed down out on the grass at home. I've got big bare spots, and we're gonna see. I put my topsoil down. I put it. So we're going to see if my seed is like the neighbors where it sprouts or if it's like Andy's and just sits there.
Well, he's got 2 kids, so we know the seed does work somewhat.
It does. I do. I do usually have good seed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you're talking about grass seed. You know, I just threw mine down yesterday and watered it. Me and the boy were out there watering the yard and everything. And I'm just kind of like a spray and pray guy. It's like, I'll just throw a lot out there and we'll see what grows. So, yeah, because I got 2 dogs and they rip up the yard. You know, I'll be lucky if anything grows anyways. But
you know, it's funny when my wife and I decided to try to have a kid. I was a spray and pray guy.
You know, JP Roca says this reminds me of the Progressive Channel commercials turning into your parents. It's true.
Oh my God, I love those commercials. My favorite one. Now, see, Dennis doesn't get to see them. Because he doesn't deal with commercials with the way his TV is and stuff and the way he streams. But I do get to see him. So every now and then when he finally gets to see one, if he's watching something over here, I don't know if you've seen the latest one where the wife is talking to the spokesman of the commercial and her husband's over there washing the trash cans. And he walks up to him and he's like, hey, Bill, what are you doing there? And he goes, just washing the trash cans. He goes, yeah, they're trash cans. Wow, you got to do it. And he goes, I see you got your name and address on them too. And he goes, you can. And Bill's like, you can never be too safe.
That's
and the guy's like, with the trash?
Yeah, I pay for those damn cans.
Exactly. The funny thing is, I had crap in mine, so I sprayed mine out and cleaned it out.
Bang.
There we
Exactly.
go.
That's the inside, though. This dude was wiping down the outside to make it.
Yeah, I'm not going to armor all them and stuff like that, but you know,
no protective coating.
we're good with that.
Exactly.
I do
All
want
right,
to say
Aaron.
welcome back from South Korea. It sounds
thank you.
a story or two. That sounds awesome.
It was my daughter's teaching over there, so we took a couple of weeks, went over there and did touring. First time we had gone for a couple of weeks, we did the Seoul area. This time we took planes, trains, automobiles. We went to Busan. We went to Suwon.
Just take a train to Busan.
Jeju. We took a train from Busan, not to Busan. Yes. But no, we did a lot of seeing, a lot of hiking, and that's what Andy's picking on me about. I wound up spraining my ankle on the second morning on the way over to my daughter's place with the suitcases. And all of our tours were walking tours, literally climbing mountains and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can't just not do it. So I didn't know I sprained it. I just knew it hurt like hell. And I just gritted through it, took lots of Advil and just kind of, went with it. And then when I got home, they took x-rays and realized I may have a hairline fracture, and I definitely sprained it. Now I'm in a boot for 8 to 12 weeks, he said, because I was dumb and didn't get off my leg right away.
Did you try to wrap it at least?
No. What wrap? I'm on the road. There's no wrapping. There was nothing.
You couldn't go into one of the fancy 7-Elevens to get an ace bandage while you were there?
Yeah, because they carry those. They don't.
I bet they do.
They don't. We went into them.
Some kind of Korean acupuncture? I don't know.
No. So we did do dinner with friends of ours that were over there. He actually had a buddy who said he does acupuncture, and he said, I could get you hooked up if you're going to, it was either Incheon or Seoul. And I'm like, our days, we literally had everything booked every day. And except for the last day was supposed to be the DMZ, which is the only thing I really wanted to do. And the day we were actually on the way back to Suwon, and then we had to be up at 5 a.m. to hop a bus in order to get over to Seoul to get to the DMZ. And they said the military basically closed it down that day. And if we even had a chance of getting there, we had to be at that place by 5 a.m., which is physically impossible. So second trip in a row, my DMZ was thwarted once again.
Oh,
I know.
That's too bad. That sounds like an awesome tour, though. Holy cow.
It is. We did a lot. We went through imperial palaces. We went through the tours around the walls, the ancient walls that they had up to, protect the cities and stuff like that. Monasteries, different types, Buddhist temples. It was very cool. So probably our last time going over there, and we got to see almost everything we wanted to between the two trips. So we spent a month there. The cherry blossoms had just started. They were 2 weeks early. So it was the perfect time to go. So we lucked out.
Yeah. Good for you. That is lucky.
Aunt Randy says Korean barbecue. Yep. We actually had the black pork in Jeju, which is what they're known for. And it was a lot of good food, a lot of interesting food that we had over there. So it was a good time.
Yeah. Well, so Andy, you were talking about sleeveless shirts and all that stuff. I couldn't help but notice you got some arms on you, dude. You're like almost like Graham Nolan over there.
Yeah, when I do the other streams, I'm always right up to my desk. So, I keep them hidden. But I work out.
Yeah, so. Good for you. Jeez,
usually when I come into the office, and I come up, he's got the weights and he's down there and he goes, I'm shaping my guns. 1,001, 1,002. I'm like, Andy, stop calling them guns. You sound like Anchorman.
That's right. Exactly. I was actually going to say, last thing on the Korean front, if I was there, I would have had to forward the thought of dumb Americans by asking everybody I saw where the geishas were.
Yeah, they don't like the Japanese, so that would not have made you very well liked.
That would have moved forward. Dumb Americans.
I will say one thing. Yeah. The smog was so bad over there. They actually have a government app that's on your phone that you put on your phone.
Yeah.
and it'll show it like it's white or green or yellow or red. And then it's like red with like a little manga devil looking kind of guy on it, which means the air is terrible. Well, 2 days we were there and it was so bad. It actually is black and it's got like a manga guy with a face mask on, like a gas mask.
Oh, wow.
And our eyes were itchy. It's all the smog from China that it just goes over. It is like it. We had no rain. It was sunny every single day,
Yeah.
but you never saw the sun. It was just this kind of hazy gray because
Wow.
the sun can't penetrate it. That is Chinese air right there.
Wow.
Cool.
I mean, I've seen video of it, but holy cow, man. Oof. No
Yeah,
thank you.
it's unbelievable. My daughter's contacts dried out and they kept popping out. I didn't even wear mine. I wore my glasses. My eyes itched probably from day 3 straight on out. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
It's
it's too bad
Visine.
because it's a beautiful country with lots of great stuff.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
Marcus says Andy's right arm is bigger than his left. Yeah, I'm right-handed and I draw with my right arm. You push that heavy ass pencil around, it's about to get bigger.
Yeah.
Pencil.
We kept it rated G. I'm so proud of you, Andy.
Pencil.
Yep. I hear you.
Big hard lead pencil.
So now we're going to take a hard left turn, Aaron. And now we're actually going to get into comic books because this is the first time you've been on our show. We
Yes.
know we've been on yours, but we need to let everybody know your origin story. How did you get into comics and what got you in maybe as a reader as a kid? Did you buy your first comic? Did somebody buy them for you? And how did you get into doing comics?
I gotcha. All right. Well, I guess when I first started in comics as a kid, I want to say the first comic I had was a like an Amazing Spider-Man or something. I don't really remember it because I was probably 7 or 8 or something like that. I was pretty young. But when I really got into comics was early 90s, X-Men, Incredible Hulk, Tales of the Jedi, things like that. And yeah, I mean, Jim Lee, Silvestri, I don't know, all those guys from back in the day is what got me into everything, and I read whatever was hot at the time. I didn't really read the Spider-Man. I was more into the team kind of books. Like I had X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force, all the Dale Keowns, that I could find, that kind of stuff.
Preaching to the choir on that one.
Yeah. And then I also liked, Dark Horse Image. I really, when Image started out, man, I was like, yeah, that's awesome. I don't know. I felt like I was a part of the team when Image started. I was like, I went out and I was trying to buy everything that I could. I was like, cool, the best of the talent and all this other stuff. And yeah, I was one of those early 90s guys for sure. And then I guess throughout the 90s, I kind of I didn't have the money supply, as easily as some of my friends. But so I would still read them, because they'd buy them. I'd be that bum. And then so I ended up reading Spawn up to like 100, which I heard is a pretty good stopping point anyways. So I just huge fan of all that. What's that?
Yep, I would agree with that.
That's funny.
That is a good stopping
I don't
point.
think I got Spawn up until you know what? It might have been the hundreds as well.
Okay.
I stayed with it a little more with Angel Medina on the artworks. I really liked what he was doing after Capullo left.
Yeah.
And then I was just kind of spotty with it. Just like, issue 150s I think are cool and 175s and then 200s. So like those anniversary type ones I usually try and get.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 300, but
I loved Capullo's art. I mean, he was that was, I mean, how do you go wrong with that? So and then like as I got older, I kind of got away from the comics just because like, a lot of hard times and all this other stuff. Couldn't afford the extra expense.
What do you mean you had a girlfrine? Yeah, we understand.
Well, I made a lot of bad choices, I don't know, just my late teens, early 20s, trying to figure out what the hell I was doing kind of stuff. And anyways, the people at work, they gave me the supply this time, right? And this time it was more like graphic novel stuff. It would be like Watchmen, all the Frank Miller stuff, like Sin City, Elektra, I had some V for Vendetta in there, 300, just a ton of graphic novels, and even all the Star Wars graphic novels too. So yeah, that's how I kept in contact with all that. And of course, Heavy Metal magazine for a long time as well.
yeah.
Off and on. I think I still have some of those running around the house here. So, but yeah. And then, so for me getting into actually making comics, let me finish up so I have kids. Now I just buy them comics, and every now and again, like, they're not into it quite as much as I was as a teenager. Like, I have my 7-year-old, he likes the Dog Man and stuff like that. And
Oh yeah.
we'll whip out, just like a classic. You buy those dollar reissues. So
Yeah.
I got one of those, and there's a classic story I want to see. But mostly for me, I just buy indie stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't really like to give those guys money if I can help it, But yeah, so for me, actually making a comic, that actually came about because I was writing down like history for our homebrew world with our Dungeons and Dragons game, and my table, the homebrew storyline has been going on for probably 25, 30 years, right? And so I'm like, I need to start taking notes on some of this stuff before it gets lost. And as I'm writing out this timeline, just so I could keep track of everything, that timeline evolved into events, and that turned into scenes with dialogue, and it became its own thing. I'm like, holy crap, I need to write this. This is a story that I can write. And then I was like, well, should I do a fantasy novel, or should I do something else? And I'm like, well, one of the things that got me into fantasy is the art. When I was like 10 or 11 or whatever, it was just looking at all this fantasy art, Frazetta, all the people that were in the D&D books, like I can't, Caldwell, guys like that. And I'm like, no, if I'm going to do a fantasy, if I'm going to do this, I want to see it, I want to see that fantasy art. And originally it was just going to be for like me and my immediate friends and family, the guys that were involved with those stories back in the day. And as it was coming out, developing with character designs and, fleshing out the story, making it, better and easier to read and all this other stuff. I'm like, I got to get this done, as best I can. And I found an artist from Indonesia. He worked on it for a long time. It took him some of the problems with time was the Indonesian government kept shutting down the internet, things like that. So
Really?
yeah, for protests. And I'm like,
damn.
and to be fair, I was kind of like, I was discouraged, and I'm like, damn, I haven't heard from a guy in like 2 months or something, not even anything. So he finally told me, he's like, yeah, I can't help it. It's just they keep shutting off the internet. So I looked it up, and yeah, they kept shutting off the internet like every, I don't know, a couple of weeks. I'm like, how the hell?
Wow.
Like
How long were they down for then?
I'm not sure. I don't remember the timelines. It's been a few years now, but yeah, it would be like shut down, and then it would be off for a little while, probably, I don't know, a week or something like that, and then come back on, and then they'd shut it off again like a month later, because they kept having college protests and civil unrest and all this other stuff. So not really sure. I hear the politics over there is just crazy, which I can imagine. But yeah, so while I was waiting for him, I'm like stewing. I'm like, man, I really want to have something produced. I want to do more with the story and things like that. So I created a second story supplement to where it wasn't the main story. It was just 10 pages, and it's centered on like the higher powers, all the gods, right? And so it was kind of seeing the story through their eyes as well. Well, I'm looking through like DeviantArt and ArtStation, Facebook groups, all this other stuff, and I can't remember where I found them, but I ran into Jose Garcia, and I was like, hey, love your style, because it was some fantasy stuff that he had done. I guess he was doing commissions every now and again, and I was like, hey, I've got this 10-page story. Would you be interested in doing it? And he's like, yeah, sure. About a week later, I get all 10 pages completely finished.
Really?
Holy cow, Meanwhile, it's taken, I don't know, 9 months or whatever it's been for the original. And And so we kind of became work friends that way. Time goes by, kind of fast forward, and I have the original, which isn't as, like, the art was amateurish. It wasn't as good as Jose's. And I'm like, man, I should try selling this, but I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing, all that stuff. So I'm coming up with a website, I'm like trying to figure out all these different things of how I'm going to, sell it on Kickstarter. And every idea I had was, all the dumb ideas that you've heard of. Right. So, and I didn't want to lose momentum on it. I was like, hey,
Right.
Jose, will you just do number 2 for me until I can figure out what's going on with this? Because, I had budgeted for that to happen. And he was like, yeah, of course. He likes the story and all that stuff. So he did the main story number 2 as well as the supplemental number 2. And then I have all this Jose work and the original artist, who was much more amateurish and stuff. And I'm like, well, I need consistency in art,
Oh, yeah.
And anyways, Jose's like, look, there's this great indie comic book community that you need to talk to, get involved with, network, and at least check out. He's like, they're not about pushing politics. It's more of, they want to make good comics. Like, they're not into the narrative or the message or whatever. I was like, cool, I'll give him a chance. And he told me about Bancroft. I became a Bancroft fan immediately, and everybody in the chat, it was a great show. And that was my introduction to CG. And then, so fast forward about maybe another year, and I'm like, I have to start my own channel. I need to start, giving to the community so that they know who I am. So I'm like, but I just start interviewing, giving people a platform to promote, and I can work on my own skills of, talking and all that other stuff.
Sure.
And anyways, so Jose, I'm like, hey, I need consistency in art. Will you do this, issue number 1 for me? And he was like, yeah, of course, let's do it. And so he redid issue 1 for me, and now it's finally ready to be out in the world. And I'm launching it now with its full 44 pages of Jose Garcia work. So
we'll share your screen so we can look at it and stuff. He's great. I don't know how that dude does so much work. We actually had him on. We had him on as a guest a year and change ago.
A while ago.
Yeah, he was one of our first guests, I want to say, when we switched over exclusively to doing video, because we did do just an audio podcast. And God, I'm trying to remember the name of his project now.
Luminavox.
Yes, Luminavox. Yep. And that's when I saw his work for the first time, and I was just blown away by it. And the fact that he's done a lot and storyboards and stuff like that is just so cool.
I mean, I made a joke. He cut his hands in animation. That's everybody's like, that's got to be why he's so fast. But it's not just that, but he's his unique style. I just don't see anything else like it, really. So. But yes, so this is the page, halfway funded, thankfully, and I guess I can go through it a little bit. Would you like to watch the trailer or?
Yeah, of course, show that full screen that sucker. Let's see it.
All right. Now, it was a little blurry.
Well, we got sound, and that's what's more important sometimes. It looks fine for the screen.
There we go.
So did Jose come up with most of the visuals for the stuff, or were they done before?
That is all him.
Okay.
Wow.
So with the original version, he did use that as a basis for his storyboard, but otherwise, it's.
Who's doing your lettering? Because that looks really good.
That's Jose as well.
Oh, is it?
He hadn't done lettering before, and I told him on number 2, go for it, and he's just been practicing and building up his skill at it.
Cool. Give us the rundown of what the story is about and stuff, and we'll go from there.
Sure.
That
Let
is
me
really
see.
cool.
1 second. Sorry, just skipping through. So
Yeah,
it's
dude,
two
you're good.
stories. It's two stories in one book. You have the main story is the I guess I won't really read this the copy. You can go to the campaign page, but basically, like at its core, Immortal Rising is a story about survival and being thrown into a war that not of your choosing, right? Um, so it's a story of a young elven man named Drake, and he's got this bright future, military career, everything's going well for him. He's got a pretty girl he's crushing on, and a clear path from being, like as he sees, a low class forest rat into
Nice.
being something much better in life just through the military, his mandatory military service. But then, as they're out on their first mission, fate calls and steals him away from his normal life. And he's thrust into a war between gods that he had never heard of on a planet that is completely foreign land to him. So,
Right.
And it's that planet that our main setting is for the story. It's a planet. Well, I guess I'll back up a little bit. So, in this universe, in the Immortal Rising universe, there's an epic war of the gods that's raging, right? And there's an evil god. He's on this long quest to kill his creator, Locutus, and that quest comes to a peak on that planet named Terra. And Terra is a planet that was up until recently ruled by Dracula. Dracula 5 years ago was destroyed by this holy warrior who gets deified, named Andronicus. Now on Terra, I should say now Terra is ruled by like Dracula's undead lords, right? In like a feudal plantation prefecture style, where like people they're in villages and cities, but it's basically like plantation. They farm them, with only the Church of Andronicus to stand against them. So, and it's on Terra, on that kind of battlefield where fate called our heroes, and now they have to fight to survive. They've got to fight to survive in a world where there's a war of the gods going on, and there's monsters everywhere. But first, with the five strangers, they have to survive each other, right? Like
Right.
the personality clashes and the 5-man band trope. Like imagine something like I don't know, what's a good team? Like Voltron or something, or like Thundercats, but they don't get along very well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A little bit of that, right? Yeah, and that's the first act of a 3-act arc. Is this one, The Calling, Part 1?
Sweet.
It's kind of our introduction to everything.
Now Jose's drawing that. What about, you said there's two stories?
Yes, he drew the second one as well. So
Okay, cool.
Because that was where I was saying earlier how I was, I wanted to do something more, and that's actually how I met Jose, was because he did the second story first.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know I kind of rambled earlier, but it's all Jose 44. Now these
Nice.
here, these trading cards, these are the original character design cards from Steve Whitehead. And
okay.
they're gorgeous. I wish I could blow them up a little bit longer or a little bit more, but let me see if I can. Nope, that didn't do it. That was a bad choice. Anyways, and then below that is another set of cards by Steve Whitehead, where he wanted to make it more, look more comic book, because a lot of his work is like this. It's like almost realistic. I mean,
Cool.
his textures are amazing. And then here we see, let's meet the heroes. So this is our main character, Drake Hardy. He's immature, he's brash, he's inexperienced. And in our story, he's tasked with escorting these two twin princes of the kingdom that he's from on a ceremonial hunt. And that's when his life is changed forever.
Nice.
Fate steals him away. And then we have some of these other characters, his love interest, Lorelei. This is the Arab cleric, who is a cleric of Andronicus, the one who destroyed Dracula. pious, stubborn, compassionate. We've got Dareth Highwind. He is the firstborn prince. He's very stuck up, pompous, privileged. And then his brother is the second-born twin prince, who's basically always lived in his brother's shadow, right? And he's pretty bitter, pretty indignant, and so very unique characters, put it that way.
That's cool.
And then this here is that's the early bird. So the early bird bonus card I'm only offering it until next Monday. It's the first 2 weeks, and then that'll be it. Now, the reason that you're going to want this one is because it's like a completion thing. Like if you think of these 2 sets, that's 8 cards, right? So you get that 9th one, you get a full sheet of cards. So.
Oh yeah, okay, that's cool,
completion, guys.
Look at that, nice. What's on the back of them? Anything?
No, I'm gonna have the logo.
Okay.
I consider doing stats and stuff, but that's more graphic work than I can pay for right now.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Hey, it's a slow build.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, and then this, I kind of like this copy. The Calling, it's the main story, transports you to the foreign world of Terra. A party of heroes is now in a desperate fight to survive in the land of the undead lords of Dracula as an evil empire invades from the stars. And then this is the supplemental, the 10-page one, The Knights of Locutus. The Knights of Locutus follows the story of the epic war of the gods as they battle against the evil forces of Bamain. So, yeah.
And that, you said, is a supplemental, so it's a standalone book by itself?
It is its own story, but it comes together. It's in one book.
Right.
Yep. And then here's some of the art.
Yeah, dude. Jose's good. You definitely got a good hookup there with Jose.
Absolutely, you did.
Well, it was so funny because he's like, when I met him, he's like, yeah, I'm trying to get out of the animation business, and I just don't want to do it. I'm going to get into indie books. And I'm like, that's perfect timing. So it was just by, I don't know, synchronicity or whatever you want to call it, that he was looking for a story or a book, and I was looking for a great artist, and here we are.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I mean, besides his own thing, excuse me, Lumina Vox, I've seen his stuff around in other people's campaigns as well. So
Fowler, with Tiger Blue, I believe.
Yep, yeah. Tiger Blue. Yep.
I just wanted to point out some of these colors because when I first started seeing them, I'm like, oh my gosh! I really appreciate the colors that he chose to tell the story. Is just, I mean, not something you would expect to see in a fantasy book. So it's all very original.
Well, the cool thing about his work is it's a comic or a graphic novel, but I mean, it looks like it's just stills from a cartoon.
It does, doesn't it?
And that is one of the things I really enjoy about his work.
Yeah.
Is that it does. It looks like stills from a cartoon like they used to do, where they would just, pull stills from the movie, an animated movie, to, make the comic.
Oh,
so,
dude. I know. I love it. It really feels like you're reading a cartoon.
Yeah.
Or anime or whatever. But look at these. Look at this back here. These airships. Oh my god, man. It's just crazy. And then again, some people just absolutely love this panel. I mean, I'm one of them. That's why I put it up on the campaign. But just like all the clouds and the coloring in here and the trees, very cool.
Oh yeah.
So, and then this is our Dami Mommy. That's the evil Empress. She's the leader of the bad guys. She is the one that commands the invading force. So.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like, so the overview is kind of like, you've got the planet Terra, which, it's got like Dracula just died. There's kind of a power vacuum. And mixed into this is like this evil empire invades looking for a super weapon that they thought they had lost. So all these things are happening all at once, and it creates for a lot of chaos for our party.
Yeah.
And then this is the Knights of Locutus. This is the one with the gods. We follow these two here, who are knights of their creator god. and they are on a quest to try to find all of his like the last bits of his essence, because the bad guys are winning, right?
Sure.
And so that's what they're trying to do. They're out, and actually this story here is actually a story of them getting revenge on someone who betrayed them. So they they go into hell to get revenge on this dude. And
that's badass.
That is.
yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I want to turn that into like a sticker or something, man, because that is awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So how much more does he have, like, progress wise? How's the work going on it? Or
okay, so number 1 is complete. It's
cool.
already done. And in fact, number 2 is 95% done. So maybe 99, depending on how you look at it. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm sitting on basically 2 books ready to go. So, and the idea is that it'll be 3 altogether. So, oh, thank you, Randy. I appreciate
There
it.
you go.
Thanks so much. Number
Thank you,
33.
Randy.
Hey, that's a good number, right? So yeah, and as you can see, I've been at this IP for like 5 years as it's slowly turned into what it's become. And here is a bunch of the team that I've worked with over the years. So
nice. That's cool.
Everybody's been great too. So
yeah, and you got several different tiers.
Yeah, why don't you break those bad boys down?
Yeah, I have 3, I guess 4 main tiers. So we got the digital, $5 digital. That's for anybody who just is worried about overseas, or for some reason doesn't want the physical one.
Sure.
Which actually, I wanted to say this for the shipping for all you overseas guys. I use Critical Blast, and he has deals. Like, he told me, I listened to him. He's my fulfillment guy. He's like, listen, I can get deals on overseas shipping. So put shipping worldwide at $10. So if you're worried about,
really?
oh shit, it's going to be $30 for Australia or whatever, I don't worry about that. It is what it is, as they say. So
wow.
Don't know how that works.
I know, man. That is insane.
I would say talk with him. I believe one way he does it is through bulk shipping. So if you are at overseas, he would match it with other books going that way, and then he would get reduced rates and stuff. So
that's cool.
And then anyways, moving on, we got the basic Immortal. This is $20. You get 1 physical book, you get the PDF, and for now the early bird card. So that's 20. And then the early bird bundle is you get the 2 books. So if you want one to read and one to keep, untouched, there you go. Or even maybe give it to somebody, something like that, as well as the PDF and the card. And then here you have the early bird, the everything. And the way I wanted to do it was a la carte. So you can come up here, you can get the basic one, and then add on the card sets separately, or you get everything for $100. Now, when I say everything, I'm talking like for the everything, you get the 2 physical books, you get the PDF. There's also the sketch PDF. So if you've ever wanted to, color over his lines, or you want to see him in process and stuff, it's all sketch storyboards of the book. I should say the 34-page main story. We don't have the sketches for the other one anymore. So yeah, unfortunately, he had a computer crash, and we don't have the original art for part of the book. Yeah. But we do have all the sketch for the 34 pages. Yeah. Yeah, that was brutal, dude.
So he had a computer crash and was not able to recover some of the stuff, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, that sucks. You got to back up to the cloud.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. It is. It really is. And then
that's a nightmare.
On top of all that, I'm offering the limited first Immortal. This is the first version, the original version, when it was just going to be me and like family that were going to have it. This cover is done by a mural artist who's a friend of mine. He's got a bunch of art around Illinois. He was like, "Yeah, I'd love to do a cover for your book." So I was like, "Sure, buddy." And then here you have the comparison. This is the original art for the first version compared to Jose, like page for page. So you can see you can see how it's the same thing, but the art approach is very different.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
and
that is
then
freaking
here,
cool.
yep. So, and this one, it's limited. I'll never print it again. There's a limited amount of them, and yeah, it's really a collector's. It's a collector thing. If you like, I offer this at $100, so that if you want to give more than just more than just whatever is just your basic stuff, and you want to get that extra collector stuff, there you go. And I appreciate any of the add-ons. Like it all helps out.
Oh, that's cool. And Daniel Russell back to early bird. So there you go. Thank
Awesome.
you,
Thank you,
Daniel.
Daniel. Very cool.
Yeah.
I really think you're gonna like it. I'm getting some feedback from people now, and getting a lot of that's great. You got a good story. So actually, I think the words were you have a hit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and some encouraging words.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, without obviously having read any of it, just hearing your pitch sounds good. And obviously, the most important part in my mind for graphic novels is the visuals, and that's definitely nailed down. So,
Yeah. Oh, Joe Bernardo, he says, Locutus, Star Trek fan, anyone? Yes. I do a lot of that. I shouldn't say I guess we, we would steal names. Like, for instance, the cleric, the Arab cleric is named Muhammad ibn Fadlan from
okay.
Eaters of the Dead. I don't know if you've read that. I think the movie was 13th Warrior. So,
Oh, yeah, okay. Seen the movie.
Little nods like that every
Wait,
now and
Years of
again.
the Dead, was that Crichton?
Yes, it was.
Okay, actually, I did read that way back in the 90s then.
Yep.
I thought it sounded familiar. Yeah. I used to read all his stuff.
So, just some little nods here and there
That's
that
cool.
people might pick up.
Now, we're doing stuff. Dennis, and so in Kor-Drath, Dennis is putting some specific lines of dialogue, I guess you'd say famous lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
Well-known lines of dialogue, however you want to say, from like movies and stuff. As long as it fits in. Obviously, he's not just throwing.
Yeah.
He didn't put it this way.
It's all part of the story.
Yeah, there's no "I'll be back." We'll just put it that way in it.
Yeah.
It's just seamless stuff, and a lot of the nerds are going to really enjoy it, and they're going to pick up on it.
Yep, that's exactly the way I chose to do it too. I was like, just a little wink, a little nod, because like the fans who are going to like this more than likely will pick up on most of the references.
Exactly. It doesn't smack you in the. Well, and that was it. When I was reading the script and reading some of the dialogue, most of the stuff I caught, for Kor-Drath that he did, but some of them I'm like, "What's that one?" And he's like, "Oh, it's this." I'm, "Oh, okay." Amish Ninja says E.T. No, if he ever did an E.T. reference in Kor-Drath, I would just fire him right away. And
phone home.
Yeah, no, that will not be in Kor-Drath. No phones in that book. Darn
you
it.
gotta go. That's funny.
Kor-Drath would just take his mighty axe and cut E.T.'s head right off.
I mean, wow.
Just
killing that poor E.T. who's just trying to get home.
And he's got that skinny little neck, so he could then just swing it by the neck and just wing it.
He's a child murder.
I mean, could be a metaphor for pedo, but I don't know.
Not if he kills him.
He got drunk and dressed in a dress, and I don't know, hanging out with
That's
kids.
right.
It was a little weird. Dad wasn't around. I don't know.
No, I hear you.
That got dark.
It did. I hear you though.
Just having fun, guys. That's all. But yeah,
well,
I love
cool,
this
man.
one. I'm not sure what to do with this picture here.
T-shirt.
Man. T-shirt.
Yeah, I was
T-shirt mini print.
That would either make a really nice poster because it's got such good detail, or a T-shirt on a black T-shirt that would look really sharp.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, you just got.
I think you're right.
You just got to play with it. So,
this is the part that we don't have the PSD for anymore. So we're gonna have to find a way to layer it again.
Oh, so he doesn't have the Was that one of the layered files he lost?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh no! So a lot of the stuff is only the flattened print-ready files.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
That hurts.
For any kind of additional work, yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, no, that is really, really brutal. I'm so sorry to hear that. I feel bad for him. I'm so paranoid about that stuff. I've got 2
Yeah.
different cloud
Well, I
things
think
I
he learned
back
his
up to.
lesson. I think he learned his lesson on that one because we haven't had any problems since then. So.
Dude, I tell you, all it takes is once for your computer to crash, and then you get down on your knees and pray that the hard drive can be recovered. And if it
Dude.
is, you're like, it's like that time you get so shit faced drunk, you're bent over the toilet saying, "Oh God, I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again." And with your hard drive, you're like, "Oh God, I swear to God, I'll back it up to the cloud. I'll back it up to the cloud. Please recover my hard drive."
That's
I
funny.
mean, Dennis goes through that, and it's because all his porn collection got towed. And I'm like, dude, why would you keep it digitally?
Well, that's how you gave it to me. So I don't know. I just don't
That's
have
how
another
you
way. I'm
gave
not
it to
printing
me.
it out.
Well, and the terrible thing is like, all right, I tried getting on to some shows. Like I was going to get on Joe Sontag's show, right?
Yeah.
Before, I don't know, probably a year or so ago. And just to kind of get into the community, start talking with
Sure.
people. And anyways, as I'm waiting there in the back room and he goes to add me on and my computer, my hard drive crashes right then. It starts making a weird sound. I'm like, what
Oh
the hell
my
is that?
God.
Completely. I'm like, I go for my laptop. I tried pulling up my laptop and all that, but it I don't know. It's old. It wouldn't run the camera or something like that. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I took that as a sign. I'm like, obviously, I'm not ready to be doing this yet. And there's probably a good reason that this happened. But I still have that hard drive. I got a solid state one now. I still have that hard drive, and I need to have somebody, try to. So I might have the PSDs on that one. But it's like
I try to look at everything like that. Anything that goes wrong like that, I always try to think there's got to be a silver lining in here somewhere. And whether it takes a day or a month or a year, at some point, you can usually look back on stuff like that and go, all right, that was a good thing after all, I guess.
Yeah. Well, 9 months later, I started my own channel. So
there you go.
Not too bad.
Months from now, Dennis is going to look back on his fractured sprained ankle and be like, and this is why it happened. This is why it was meant to be. It'll just make you stronger.
It will. I'll be like the Bionic Man.
Let's not go crazy.
You're going to make that sound effect too when you run?
Yeah, we could do that all day.
I love that sound effect.
I just wanted to show
something what happened. Oh, you're showing that? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I got slow RAM. So anyways, yeah, when you click on it, then you've got here's all the add-ons. You got the mini posters. Here's the original version. Here's some of the cards, and it's all there. Another mini poster. This is the Jose Garcia cover, and then this one is the that's the design character design artist Steve Whitehead. He also did a poster for me as well as a card. So yeah, he's awesome, dude.
No, that's cool. What do we got here? Let me see something here. External backups, even just on a USB HDD, are usually good enough. I got one of those too, as long as you've got 2 copies at any given time. But yes, in modern times, we have SSDs, cloud, home. Yep, we sure do.
Yeah,
there's so many ways these days.
It was a lesson learned, definitely.
Oh yeah,
here we go. All right,
well, that's very cool, man. Very cool. So you just launched it. Are you breaking it up into 2 30-day segments there, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I may just do 30 and then go, oh, nice. I may do 30 and then go in demand and then go to fund my comic. Like a chance kind of deal. So
sure.
I'm not sure yet, but that's most likely what I'll do. I don't really want to be on Indiegogo. Like I had all this kind of set up for a good year, getting signups and all that stuff. And I didn't want to lose any of that info. So, but now, and there wasn't much else anywhere else to go, but now there is. So
sure. Well, that's cool. So what do you, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do I assume as a regular gig for a living?
Oh, sure. I work in a factory. I'm an equipment technician.
Oh, what's the factory make? Can you tell us?
I work for, it's a military contractor.
Damn it! I was just throwing that out there just because I thought
You
it
were trying
sounded
to
cool.
throw shade, and he threw it
No,
right
I
back
wasn't
at
throwing
you.
shade. I just thought weapon sounds cool. So look at that.
Tony
No,
Stark,
actually,
right
so
here.
for about 10 years or so, I guess maybe 11 years, I worked on air-to-air refueling systems. So like when the
Oh,
jets are up in the air and they got the other jet behind them and they got the hose and
yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah, I built those hose reels and repaired them and all that other stuff for a decade. Yeah. And now I got a little bit of an upgrade. So I don't work on that stuff. Now I do like calibrations and stuff like that. So
Well, that sounds cool. So
just nerdy factory work. I barely get to see the sun, which is why I'm so pale. That's my excuse.
now I'm curious, what time do you have to be there at?
Uh, so in my new position, I can go in whenever I want, but usually I really like going in super early. So I'll go in at like 4 or 5 in the morning,
Whoa, I was going to say 6, and then you
kind of
just
get
bumped it
my
up
day over.
4 in the morning.
Yeah, I enjoy it because like there's nobody else there, so I can really focus and get to whatever I got to do.
Man, if I was going into work at 4 in the morning, I'd be passing out around 7 o'clock every night.
I make it to about 9 or 10, which is kind of the problem because a
Oh,
lot of CG shows are on later. Well,
yeah,
that's when like I'm settling down and getting ready to go to bed or hang out with the family and stuff like that. So I can't really be on a CG show, which is another
right.
reason why I do my own channel shows like around 6 o'clock my
Yeah,
time. So I guess it's what is that 7 on the east. So
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't know. I just unfortunately, that just means that I can't be in mini chats.
Well,
Right.
that's why our show works out so good for you. It's good timing.
Yeah, I've been catching it more. So,
That's cool. Let's see what we got in the chat here. Randy's Pimpin' Dragon Rage by Mr. Jimmy Reyes. Go check that out. That's got
yeah,
2 days left. Obviously, he's
Jimmy's
been
cool.
posting the link, and I put the link down below for Immortal Rising. So everybody
Thank
go
you.
check that out. Um, let's see. Cool. You're at 1584 now, so that's good.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a little disheartening. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I didn't know what to expect, but there was just nothing there on Indiegogo. Like, they kind of say, oh, well, it's a marketplace or a mall where people can go and they can window shop. And if they like your product, they might pick it up. I don't think I'm getting any kind of traffic like that at all. Like, it all seems to be YouTube, going on to shows like yours and getting signups right there.
I mean, have you gone to the you go to the homepage, you go to explore, and then I guess in the drop down you can hit comics and just the scroll
yeah.
to see where it's at.
I haven't. I haven't really done that. No.
Yeah, you should do that just to see where it falls,
Yeah.
because that's unless people, unless it's like this where you're talking about it and people get the link and know where exactly to go. It's basically if somebody's bored and just goes to Indiegogo and they're in the comics and they go, oh, let's see if there's anything new. And they click that and just start scrolling,
Right.
But I
Yep.
think a lot of it is just word of mouth and getting it out on social media and doing, making the rounds on the channels and stuff.
And I think the channels are the best. You get on a bunch of people's channels, you talk about some fun stuff, pimp your product and stuff like that. There's a
Yeah.
lot of good comic book buyers out there that really support this type of work. So I think it'll be maybe a slow build, but it'll all get there.
I
Yeah.
think so. I mean, there's nothing else like this that I've seen in the indie space at all, or even in the mainstream space. Like, I don't know. It's a very unique product, and I think it's going to be unique themes and art and story, really. And I don't know. I think once people see it more and more, I think it'll take off for sure.
I think so, and you just have to be patient. It's
Yeah.
people have
And
said this a lot. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
right.
So
Yeah, I just
and I'm not good at either one of those. So
Uh, well, like I was saying earlier, the amateur gardener thing, I'm just planting the seed. Oh, I suppose now it's starting to sprout, but I
right,
planted the seeds a year ago. and now I'm starting to let it grow and water it and all that stuff. And in time, it'll start to really flourish. All I want this for mainly, like I don't expect for it to go to like 50 grand or anything crazy like that. But what I want for this is to help pay for the third one. So
Sure.
that anything over top of cost is going straight to Jose to start the third one, because that's all we're waiting on is cash. So yeah, and then third one will be, and hopefully in about 6 months I'll be launching number 2.
Cool. Why don't you hit refresh one more time?
Sure.
Oh, yours that. Wait. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, it's
okay.
a lag.
Yeah. Yeah. People make fun of me on my show for my RAM. So there we go. Whoa, holy cow.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's
a little
perfect.
bit of what we like to call the DNA bump.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
So we like to spread our DNA around. But before we go, because we are going to start wrapping it up, because I'm on a stream at 8:00 tonight, and I got to fit some stuff in between that. I'm going to share Kor-Drath, The Reckoning. Nice. That's right, Kor-Drath, The Reckoning is the book, as most of you watching know, but for any new viewers, that Dennis and I are doing, it is 76 pages of barbarian fantasy action. Kor-Drath's tribe is overrun and totally slaughtered, I tell you, by a legion of the undead, and now Kor-Drath needs to find out who set the wheels in motion for this to happening. He's the last sole survivor. Him and Adriana are going to go out on a mission with vengeance in their minds to find out who did this to them. 76 pages. I'm working on page 54, I think. Currently, you can read the first 8 pages on the campaign page. The link is in the description below. And of course, our man Randy is popping the link for us here as well. And for those that don't know, it was on Kickstarter. We are actually at about 82,000 and change total. So that means that the $80,000 stretch goal has been unlocked, which is the Lilith playable character card. Playable character? What's that? Well, Dennis is writing a 24-page minimum game module for the RPGers out there, so you can roleplay the Kor-Drath Mayhem in the Mirador Mountains game. You can play them with characters you've already created, or the Kor-Drath characters with the playable cards that come with every copy of the book. So go check it out. Look at that gorgeous Bud Root cover.
Yeah.
I know when that's actually in print in Dennis's hands, it's going to be nasty. So I don't even want to be there when that happens.
Okay, I'll just wait for the T-shirt.
There you go. And you'll cut the sleeves off of it, too.
Absolutely, I will. And you guys will get to see it right away.
Damn it, you're going to disrespect the T-shirts.
That is right. Sleeves will be off.
God. So disrespectful. Well, you're paying for it.
I love that throwback cover. Yeah, it was tough trying to pick which cover I wanted to go with. So, because I was like, I thought I had bought it on Indiegogo, not realizing that it was on Kickstarter. So I'm pretty sure I bought it twice. But
well, we appreciate that.
I think that I wanted. I think I want a different cover though, because I'm pretty sure I had the just the basic cover. I really want that chick cover too. That's pretty nice, man.
Well, that's cool. Well, you know, if you did end up doing it twice, and if for some reason it was the same cover, just let me know. We'll work it out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can just ship the other one when they come.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. No problem. So, guys, go check out. Of course, there's the oversized hardcover artist edition as well that we're doing. So you can look at all the black and white art, because I do work traditionally pen and paper.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, go check it out. Thank you, everybody that has backed it already. We really appreciate it.
Share it with all your friends. Put it on social media. That's the only way we're getting the word out nowadays.
That's right. Sharing is caring. So please do that. And we will be back, of course, next Wednesday. We'll drop a review on Friday of, good Lord, what are we seeing?
Renfield.
Renfield. Nicolas Cage's Dracula and his assistant Renfield, who the movie's actually about.
I know.
The guy that played, the actor that played the Beast, right?
Yep.
In X-Men. So,
and was in The Menu.
And I'm not talking about Frasier. Kelsey, it was an okay movie. Let's not get over our skis, Dennis. Come on, let's not get over our skis. But hey, we want to thank you, Aaron, for taking the time coming on the show with us today.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you and stuff, and
really
we wish you the best with the campaign as it moves forward and stuff.
Right on.
And we will check you guys next Wednesday. We have to figure out who we're going to have on, and then we'll let you know. And until then, everybody stay cool. Have a good week. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, guys.
Live long and prosper.
Bye-bye.